What is up, bros and broettes? I'm Inkslasher, and welcome to another episode of Versus. But before we get into Versus, I have two things to tell you about. First of all, today I uploaded my first ever vlog, if you want to call it that, over on my new vlog channel. You can check it out. It used to be kind of like a Let's Play channel, but we're switching it up over there. You can go check that out. There'll be a link down in the description, or I'll link it at the end of the video. But also, I'm in the midst of kind of getting some new branding for the channel, so I'm not going to show you exactly what the new logo and stuff looks like, but I'm going to tease it right here. And without further ado, let's get into this episode of Versus. So today we're going to be comparing two SMGs, the first of which is brand new to Infinite Warfare. This one is called the Trencher, and basically this is a type of MP18, but in this game it's called the Trencher, versus the Karma-45. Now, you may be wondering why I always compare the new SMGs versus the Karma-45. The reason being is the Karma is basically your stereotypical SMG. There's no crazy fire rate on it, there's no crazy damage on it, it's just run-of-the-mill. Everything on this weapon is average. So by comparing it to this weapon, we can kind of see whether the weapon we're comparing it against is going to be in the top tier of the SMGs or the bottom tier of the SMGs, because the Karma-45 is right in the middle. So as always with the Versus series, we always start off with the damage profile. The Trencher looks like this: 35 damage up close, 30 at short mid-range, 23 at long mid-range, and 19 at long range. Whereas when we look at the Karma-45, we've got 30 damage up close, 23 at mid-range, and 19 at long range. So obviously, the Trencher is going to have that better damage profile. The main thing you want to look at there is you're going to have that 3-bullet kill up close, which is always very good on any SMG or sometimes even assault rifle. So because of this, the Trencher is going to get +1 point and take the lead. Now the thing is, because of this, not only does it have a better damage profile, it also has better ranges. The reason for this is because of that 3-bullet kill range. It is therefore going to extend all of the other ranges. And in comparison to the Karma-45, the drop off to pretty much every single range, so in other words, where it drops off from a 4 to a 5-bullet kill and a 5 to a 6-bullet kill, is going to be better on the Trencher. This ranges from anywhere from around 5 meters to 8 meters, and the big one, the 8 meters, is going to be for that 5 to a 6-bullet kill, which is always a very big deal. So for that, and having a better range, the Trencher is once again going to get +1 more point and extend that lead. So the next thing we're going to look at is the rate of fire. Now this is what makes up the other half of time to kill, so this makes this a very important stat. So on the Trencher, you're looking at a 625 rate of fire, which is actually pretty bad. In comparison, that's more of like an assault rifle fire rate than an SMG fire rate, whereas when we look at the Karma-45, it has a fire rate of 769. The interesting part about this is that the Trencher has the slowest rate of fire in the entire game for SMGs, even slower than the HVR. So that is really saying something. So of course, because of that, the Karma is going to get +1 point. So if I'm being honest, things are not going to get much better from here on out for the Trencher. The next thing we're going to look at, though, is the magazine size. So the magazine size for the Trencher is 32 rounds, which actually isn't too bad for an SMG. In comparison, that's actually pretty average in Infinite Warfare. But compared to the Karma-45, the Karma has a magazine size of 42 rounds, which is actually pretty large for an SMG. That being said, though, the Karma has a bigger magazine by 10 rounds, which is a pretty damn big deal, and for that, it's going to get +1 point. The next stat that I probably find the most interesting out of any that we're going to talk about today is the hip spread. The reason being, the Trencher's hip spread is big for an SMG. So you got 4.5 inches at a minimum and 7 at a maximum. This is huge compared to the other weapons in the game. For example, when we compare it to the Karma-45, the Karma's is 2 inches at a minimum and 5 at a maximum, and even that is kind of large for an SMG. So by far, the Trencher has a larger hip spread, which is not a good thing. So once again, the Karma is going to get +1 more point and take the lead. So not only does the Trencher have the largest hip spread in class, it also has the slowest aim down sight speed at 250 milliseconds, whereas every other SMG in the game has an aim down sight time of 230 milliseconds. Now, I'm not going to give out any points based on this because it's only a difference of 0.02 seconds, which isn't a big deal whatsoever. It's just important to note that it's also the worst in class at aim down sights time as well as hip spread. Next up, reload speed, and once again, this one is not looking so great for the Trencher. The Trencher Trencher's reload speed is 2.5 seconds, which is kind of middle of the road for SMGs, whereas the Karma, it has a reload speed of 2.2 seconds, which is obviously better by 0.3 seconds, which is actually a pretty damn big deal and is definitely going to be noticeable in game. So because of that, the Karma-45 is going to get +1 point and extend that lead. And the only other stat we have to look at is time to kill, and I'm not going to give out any points based on time to kill for these two weapons, because for both weapons it kind of depends on range. With one weapon having a better rate of fire and the other having a better damage profile, it's just going to depend on which range you're at, and it kind of splits the ranges 50-50. Now, once you do get into that 6 bullet kill range, you are going to be doing better with the Karma-45 simply because of the faster rate of fire. However, the rest of the ranges under that 6 bullet kill range, it's going to be very dependent on how exactly far you are away from that person and how many bullets it's going to take to kill. So because of that, I'm not going to give it any points based on time to kill. However, you can probably tell based on the score that the better of the two weapons is the Karma-45. So what pretty much sums this up is, yes, the Trencher has a very good damage profile with a very good range. In fact, they are the best in class. However, the rest of the stats are pretty much the worst in class, including rate of fire, aim down sights time, and hip spread. On top of that, its reload speed is nothing to gawk about. So the problem is, even though the damage profile is great on the Trencher, nothing really stands out. And compared to another SMG, in this case the Karma-45, where pretty much every stat on it is just average, the Trencher just can't quite stand its ground. And because of that, this week's winner is the Karma-45. But you can let me know what you think down in the comment section below. What do you think of the Trencher? Personally, it's definitely one of the worst weapons in the game in my opinion. It just doesn't stand its ground versus the other SMGs in this game. It may have that great damage profile, but its other stats are just not good enough. But like I said, if you disagree, feel free to let me know down in the comment section below. Also, if you're new to the channel and like what you see, it would be fantastic if you'd hit that like button. And if you're new to the channel, you can always hit that subscribe button. I upload new Call of Duty videos every single day of the week. And if you like what you see here, you may also like my vlog channel. Like I said, I uploaded the very first one today, so you can check out that link down in the description. But guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, peace out.